Hi everyone. If one room in your house is always too hot in the summer and freezing in the winter, this kind of mini split can either feel like a smart fix or a very expensive headache. Today I'm talking about the Senville Aura 12,000 BTU mini split. And I want to keep this review practical, because this is one of those products where the experience really depends on the space, the install, and what you expect from it. For me, the main reason this unit stood out was simple. I wanted something that could handle a tough room without needing a full furnace and central air replacement. Think of a master suite, an entertainment room with a lot of windows, a cottage living area, or an open concept section of the house where the old system just doesn't keep up. That's exactly the kind of situation where this unit makes sense. Visually, the indoor head is clean and sleek. It doesn't look bulky on the wall, and the outdoor unit also has a pretty tidy appearance once it's mounted and the line set is covered. In an image-only video, you can picture the indoor unit sitting high on the wall, the white casing blending into the room, and then outside, the compressor tucked along the wall or mounted on a bracket, with the lines running neatly through a cover. The first thing I noticed after it was running was how quiet it is, and I don't mean quiet for an air conditioner. I mean quiet enough that at first, it's easy to wonder if it's actually doing anything. The indoor unit moves air smoothly, and the outdoor unit is also surprisingly low-key. Even when it's working harder, it doesn't have that harsh on and off compressor sound that older systems have. The silent mode is especially nice if this is going in a bedroom, office, or TV room. Cooling performance is where it immediately feels useful. In hot, humid weather, it can take a rough room and make it comfortable pretty quickly. In a 450 square foot master suite, it cools fast. In spaces around 650 to 800 square feet with a more open layout, it can still do a very solid job. And for summer use, this is where I think most people will feel the biggest difference right away. You turn it on, give the sensors a little time to settle, and then it holds the temperature very steadily. The remote is straightforward and easy to use. I also like that there are options for Wi-Fi control if you add the module, and the app control can be a nice bonus if you're using this in a cottage or a vacation place and want to adjust it before you arrive. Alexa control is possible too, but the controls can be more limited depending on the setup, so I wouldn't buy it only for that feature. If remote control matters to you, I'd look closely at the Wi-Fi module and app setup. If you're thinking about getting one, I actually found a pretty good price on this. I'll leave the link in the description below so you can check it out for yourself. Now let's talk installation, because this is the part that can make or break the experience. If you're handy, comfortable with tools, and willing to go slowly, the install is very doable. I've seen installs take anywhere from a couple of hours to a full day, depending on the person, the electrical work, the wall layout, and how clean you want the outside line cover to look. That said, this is not the same as plugging in a window AC. You're dealing with electrical connections, refrigerant lines, vacuuming the system, leak checking, and making sure the flares are right. A vacuum pump, gauge manifold, and the right fittings are important. Some people also pressure test with nitrogen, vacuum the lines, wait to make sure it holds, and then release the refrigerant. Taking your time matters. Don't rush the vacuum step, don't ignore leaks, and don't guess on the wiring. One small issue I ran into is that the instructions could be better. They are usable, but not perfect. There can be moments where the wiring colors don't feel as obvious as they should, or the refrigerant line connections feel tighter than expected, especially if the piping exits in a less convenient direction. Moving the drain line is possible, but getting the rubber stopper seated properly can be a little fiddly. These aren't deal breakers, but they are the kind of things that slow you down. The manual also feels like it assumes you already understand the general process. So if you're not confident, hiring an HVAC professional or an electrician is the safer move. Also check the warranty requirements before deciding to do everything yourself, because professional installation and electrical work can matter. The DIY savings can be huge, but only if you're comfortable doing the job correctly. Once installed, the heat performance is honestly what surprised me most. This unit isn't just for summer. In cooler weather, it puts out a lot of heat and keeps rooms comfortable. In temperatures around the 40s and 30s at night, it handles heating very well. It has also been used through much colder conditions, including single-digit Fahrenheit weather and even down around -20 Celsius in a cottage setting, while still keeping living areas warm. There is a realistic limit though. When outdoor temperatures drop extremely low, especially around 5 degrees Fahrenheit and below, it may start working harder and may struggle a little depending on the home. If your winters regularly get brutally cold, I'd still want a backup heat source. But for a lot of homes, especially in shoulder seasons and moderately cold winter weather, it can reduce how much you rely on oil heat, baseboard heat, or another main system. Energy use will depend heavily on your electricity rates, insulation, layout, and outdoor temperature. But the overall pattern is clear. When it's very cold outside, the unit works harder and costs more to run. When outdoor temperatures are closer to freezing or above, it becomes much more efficient. In an open concept home around 800 square feet, a single 12,000 BTU unit has been able to carry the heat through winter without needing oil heat, which is pretty impressive. There are a couple of minor comfort quirks. One is temperature drift. In colder weather, the set temperature on the remote may not perfectly match the actual room temperature. For example, you may need to set it a few degrees higher to get the real room temperature you want. It's not hard to adjust to, but it's worth knowing so you don't assume something is wrong. Another thing is defrost mode. In cold, damp conditions, the unit may go into defrost more than once an hour. That's normal operation, and the machine handles it automatically. If the outdoor unit is wall-mounted, you might occasionally hear vibration through the wall when it's heating hard or during defrost. It wasn't a big issue for me, but if you're sensitive to vibration, placement matters. Customer support is another strong point. When questions come up about cooling, heating, electrical requirements, or setup, getting a helpful response can make the install feel less intimidating. Having someone actually answer questions clearly is a big deal with a product like this. Overall, I think the Senville Aura 12,000 BTU mini split makes the most sense for someone who wants serious heating and cooling in a specific area, without paying for a full central system replacement. It's quiet, it looks clean, it cools quickly, it heats well in a wide range of conditions, and it can be a great value if installed properly. The main downsides are the instructions, the need for proper tools and care during installation, possible warranty considerations with DIY work, and the fact that extreme cold may still require backup heat. But if your expectations are realistic and the install is done right, this is a very capable little system. If you have any questions about this product, feel free to leave them in the comments below.